Today, let's talk about life being a test, taking life too serious, or taking things not seriously enough. A lot of times it seems like life is trying to annoy us, bring us down, change us, and a lot of times we let this thing happen. We get pushed around, or we even become mean, dark, hidden, reclusive, isolated. And all these different responses, we use them as excuses for certain behaviors. We lie to ourselves. We look for reasons to do things or not to do things. And on some level, we're all searching for balance, for a middle path. We're searching for inner peace and outer meaning. And so we have a lot of good intentions in the way that we try to strive for these things, but we do tend to make a lot of mistakes on this path. So one of the goals recently has been to look for where this balance can help me and where the excuses are holding me back from progression. I noticed that most of the time balance and a middle path is a very good thing, but I've also noticed that we can use this idea of balance against ourselves and even use spiritual concepts such as non-duality, restraint of force, to explain things away, to accept our own faults in a negative way, because of course it is positive to accept our own faults, but if we do it in a way that continues those faults on and helps us to pervade them, it's not a positive thing. I feel like I've done this in certain ways and pretending to be more perfect than I really am, just to allow these faults to continue. And again, just like this cloud and the beautiful blue sky, we're searching for that mix of the darkness and the light. Because as they say, the human being is a synthesis of these opposites. Whether it's animal, beast, or divine, angel, these two things intermingled into one creature. And like the Greek story goes, the human was one creature that the gods split into two and will spend eternity searching for that other half. And they did it because we were too powerful. So look at what we always desire. We desire control. We feel very averse to powerlessness. We desire to be lost in a fantasy world. And I think part of the test of life is taking these things which can become faults and making them into virtues. Because we're all searching for something, and that's how a lot of politicians, cult leaders, criminals, anyone who's looking to take advantage of other people can manipulate others by always seeing there's an emptiness within them. They're searching for someone to give them confidence, someone without an internal split. And I do think that this split is very painful at times, but also important to our humanity, and it helps drive us forward. And a lot of times people get stuck because they learn to ignore this internal split of duality. And their struggling is not proactive. It doesn't drive them forward any longer. They become stagnant and even seem to regress and experience extra difficulty, and not the good kind of difficulty that helps us grow wiser, hopefully more compassionate, and really more truthful. Truthful with ourselves, truthful with others, and not using the truth like a baseball bat, crying out in pain, trying to punish others. Using the truth gracefully, as they taught the samurai and other sacred warriors in the past, that their duty as being a warrior was a very important duty, and that we do stumble on our path. And just because we stumble, this is not an excuse to give up, as many times I've seen myself and others do. Even if they don't know they're giving up, it's not a willful thing, it still happens. And not to look down or abandon those who seem to have given up, but to understand, and if possible to lend a hand, but not to let them pull you down with them. So again, it's what we're all seeking for, this inner peace, and it can't be forced, and we can't take this life too seriously. And one of my other goals is learning to laugh more and to let go joyfully and just see the journey unfold and understand that I don't have control over it, that no human has control over it. As much as we try, we see nature raging back at us, the hurricanes, fires, floods, disease, social unrest. The more we try to control it, the more it falls from our hands and it falls from our grasp. That we can't force understanding either. That we really can't force anything in life. But we can't sit back and do nothing either. And again, there's this balance, this middle path, a passage through the two dualities.